name's Donna Ferber, and I teach Advanced Placement U.S. History.
How do you recommend students prepare for a test in this class?
Well, they have study guides that are optional for each chapter, but I strongly recommend that they complete those and then go back over the important parts as well as review their PowerPoint notes. That's probably the best way to prepare, yeah.
What is the number one thing students should do in order to succeed in this class?
I would say read, be willing to read. A lot of students want to do history without reading. And Advanced Placement U.S. History, you get out of it what you put into it. And if you think you can do it without reading, it's going to be a rude awakening. So that's the main thing I would say.
What is the format of a typical class?
I try to vary what we do. Sometimes I have a PowerPoint. Sometimes we have a debate over like the Mexican War, for instance, or we have one on Hamilton versus Jefferson. Sometimes we do what we call circle time, where everyone researches a topic and we share the information. We're going to do that today with Civil War battles. So I try to make it varied, and sometimes we spend time just analyzing documents, looking at primary sources, figuring out their reliability, and seeing how useful they are for us for the answering the questions that we have, that kind of thing.
How does a student maintain success in this class?
By not falling behind. I think being committed to carving out specific time every week that they're going to do the work, not just hoping that they can find some time when everything else is done. So it's really a matter of planning your time is probably the most important thing.
What type of student would you recommend to take this class?
I would recommend a student who loves history. I would recommend a student who likes to write, a student who is committed to working hard. There is a reward, but it's not immediate, so you have to kind of be willing to hang in there.
How much is the homework load on a typical day?
Well, I try to, that's where this planning your schedule comes in. I try to give kids their syllabus and their calendar and their reading study guides ahead of time so that they can map out what needs to be done, and then I make recommendations about when things are due. So for instance, today they were supposed to research one Civil War battle and one general, and we're going to talk about those in class today. But behind that is they still need to be committed to getting their reading finished, so it kind of depends on how they're going to organize their day.
What is the format of summative assignments?
The format?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, a lot of them are what I call like divide and conquer, where kids do, like each of them did a different reformer in the 1800s, and so then they share that information so that it's not so heavy on them. But they also had an online assignment to look at abolitionist primary sources and comment about those, and then there's another where they observed an edited video about John Brown and wrote down observations about him. It's just a lot of different kinds of things.
What kind of projects do you assign in this class?
Usually the projects have to do with biography related material. I try to do some fun stuff, but the pace is challenging. But we will do a presidential Valentine's party in February where the students research a different president and they create these kind of creative valentines about the president, but then on the backs of those I'll have facts, so it becomes a little set of study notes, but it's really fun, and we have cookies and decorate little Valentine bags for everybody. And then we do a large group project after the AP test looking at the most recent decades in American history, and the students make presentations about music and movies and food and fashion and major events, and that's a lot of fun at the end of the year.